Hey everyone, welcome to the C&J Art Adventure and Family channel. So in this video, I take you along with me as we go to the Abasto shopping center, which unlike Galleria Pacifico, which I showed in my last video, this mall is aimed more towards families and teenagers. So you'll find a huge arcade there full of every kind of game you can think of. And there's also a children's museum where kids can touch everything and play around as much as they want. And there's also rides. So I think this is my stepson's favorite shopping center, of course. And here they are playing Transformers. This was the first game they tried. And I should add that I've been trying to figure out how to film my family. I mean, I know my stepson would love to see himself on YouTube. He would love to have his own channel, but we don't think it would be good for him at this stage in his life yet. Like, when he's an adult, he can decide for himself. But for now, we would rather that he preserve his privacy. And so, even though family is a huge part of my life, you will probably only be seeing the back of my stepson's head or see him blurred out altogether. My husband also isn't so keen to be on camera. He doesn't care if I show the back of his head. And he has done voiceovers with me, but he also does not really want to be recognized, I guess. So family is a huge part of my life. And so I'm trying to figure out how to include that on this channel while still respecting their privacy. I don't care so much, even though I tend to show POVs, so to speak, or the world from my point of view, which means not showing my face all the time. Like, I'll show it here and there, but the main focus of this channel is to show the world from my point of view. And so it's been a real challenge figuring out how to figure out the style of this channel, let's say. Like, I know some people have a way of filming and they stick to that throughout their entire channel, but I feel like I've been trying to figure out things as I go, and I experiment and so on. And I might continue to do that, so what you see now might not be how it is a year from now. But anyway, this mall is a lot of fun, but I would say after a while, for my husband and I, it was really exhausting because it is always so crowded and so busy in there. So you have to fight your way through crowds all the time, and it's always noisy. It's a lot more crowded, I have to say, than the typical mall in the US, at least from what I've seen. Probably because it's aimed towards families, so you have a lot of screaming kids and a lot of loud teenagers. But it's fun. It's a really fun mall. And it has this section on the top floor where you can ride rides. So these are the typical rides you'd see in, say, a carnival or a state fair in the US. Nothing really fancy, but they are a lot of fun. Not every ride was working that day, and so we were only able to go on a few rides. And that one that goes around and around, that one, I decided not to go on because I was worried it would make me sick. Also, this is a mall we go to regularly, so I wanted to save some rides for next time. But I did want to do some ride POVs, but I realized pretty quickly that that might not be possible on these kinds of rides. This was also a trial run for us to see how my stepson would deal with being in a park full of rides. And he loved it, of course. He was so excited. He went on that spinny ride twice. So we think when we finally bring him to American theme parks, he is just going to lose his mind over all the rides. So we're really looking forward to that, to sharing that experience with him in the future.
Nico, voy a poner mi mochila ahí, ¿ok?
Ok, voy a manejar esta vez.
Sí. Vos
No.
manejas y yo grabo.
Ajá. Grabando pues. Mira, porque estás conduciendo un juego así. En este juego no se puede. En otro juego
Ah,
sí.
¿no puedo?
No, en este juego no.
Ah, ok.
Por las dudas, porque si chocas o algo, por las dudas. ¿De dónde grabar, verdad?
Sí, es
Pero no lo
difícil.
pongas tanto que se te puede caer.
Ah, sí. Tienes razón.
Yo algunas veces tengo razón.
Sí.
Algunas.
Algunas veces.
Pero el girito parece. Mira, ahora vamos a pasar por el girito que gira mucho
Ajá.
y vas a verlo. O sea, está muy bueno.
Sí.
El giro parece que salió de Estados Unidos.
Sí, es verdad.
O sea, ese. Hay un giro, ahí, el que tiene luces, ¿viste? El que tiene muchas luces.
Sí.
Ese,
Sí.
el que es una rueda con muchas luces. Ese vamos a ir de vuelta mi papá y yo.
¿Y quieres ir ahí otra vez?
Sí.
Tal vez en un ratito.
O después de la vuelta esta. Yo tengo el cinturón con precaución.
Ah, perfecto. Ajá. Ok, mate.
I really wanted to go on the spinny ride, by the way, because I love thrill rides, but I don't love rides that might make me dizzy. And so I was waiting in line here with my family, but at the very last minute, I backed out, and of course, my husband laughed at me.
Don't break me. I'm living for the highlights, living for my dream. So baby, stay with me. I'm living for the highlights, living for our dreams.
So here I'm marveling at the price of toys in Argentina. Like that Barbie dream house, believe it or not, was nearly $1,000 US. So that's the thing about living here in Argentina. Things that are imported are often at least twice, usually 3 times what you would pay in the States. Which is why when I was in the States earlier this year, I tried to get my stepson as many toys as possible, and then I had to take them out of their boxes, of course, and pack them in my suitcase. So I think the next time we're in the States, we will definitely stock up on toys. But yeah, you can see this is a pretty typical mall, like any mall you'd see anywhere. It's not very different from anything in the States. You have the same kind of stores and so forth, except for the price of toys. It's, it's pretty similar to anything you'd find in the States. But I gotta say that this evening wore my husband and I both out. So I don't know how we're both gonna do in theme parks, but just the noise and the crowds, it was all pretty exhausting for us, and we spent the next day pretty much doing nothing but lying around watching TV. So yeah, but that's what we usually do on Sundays, so yeah.